Hey, welcome to Lunch with Lee. Today we are talking about waterproofing. And in a lot of situations, it's incredibly important. And in some situations, you don't need it. So, what does waterproofing mean? Most of the time in our industry, masonry, chimney, all that kind of stuff, waterproofing is a chemical that's put on the outside of usually brick, stone, masonry, something porous that stops water from going into that substrate, that brick, stone, whatever the surface is. The reason that a lot of times it doesn't work for certain people, number one is if you've got large cracks, if you've got holes, a chemical is not going to solve that. It's not going to fix that at all. You need to fix the mortar joints, the brick, the cracks, the holes. That has to get fixed first. So we've had lots of chimney companies we've worked with that sort of spray waterproofer, water repellent into holes. And that's not going to work at all. So you need to get that fixed first. But then once everything is fixed, there are some people that the brick, the stone is so porous that it still weeps through and you still get problems. So every time we repair chimneys, we put a water repellent on it. We use one that's specialized for chimneys. I wouldn't use it on brick everywhere, just for chimneys. And the things that are important with water repellents, waterproofers, and you never want to hear the word sealant because of this. If you put it on, you don't want to trap water in. It has to not let water in, but let water vapor out so everything can dry out. That's a very special water repellent that you need to put on there, and be very cautious because it can actually make things worse if you put something, if like water's leaking from the top and you put something all over the sides that traps water in. So it needs to be breathable, right? Also, our product is what we use. It's not the only way, but what we use is a 10-year product. So to find the equivalent product or the equivalent pricing for what most other waterproofers are, which is 1, 2, 3-year product, but if it's a 1-year product, you take that 1-year product plus labor times 10 pricing wise, and that's equivalent to what we are installing. So our stuff is a lot more expensive, the product itself, because it is a more quality product. After we put it on, our customers all the time call us and say, hey, I don't see anything. And that's in fact correct. If you take a cup of water and you throw it on the brick stone, you will see it beat up everywhere. It works. You can't even see it after it's on. So that is when we fix water leaks, that's baked into it. But you have to make sure we have some of the stuff we use is specifically designed for our environment. It's got stain blockers and kills moldicides. We do that sometimes too. So in certain situations, you get something that you can't buy almost anywhere else because we are kind of custom formulating with our suppliers, something that's correct for our environment. So, but water repellents is incredibly important in most situations where you have brick, stone, something porous, because each brick can hold like a cup and a half of water. And I may be off a little up, a little down, but it will hold a lot of water. And you think, okay, even if it's just a cup, look around, look up. How many bricks are in this chimney? How many cups of water? How much weight? How much problems does that cause? But that's very, very common to have problems. If you look and you have stains, mold, anything growing on the outside, your brick is too wet. And it's important that sometimes it's cutting back trees, that helps too, but the brick itself will mold because it just holds so much water, it stays wet for a long time. So cleaning it up, fix any cracks or holes, and putting a really, really good water repellent on it is absolutely worth it in the long term for fixing leaks and making sure they are fixed permanently. The number 2 thing for water repellents is, are you actually fixing the problem? If you're using your fireplace and there's something leaking from the inside that's causing the cracks, the holes, the problems, you got to fix that too. And we often see that if you call a mason, a handyman, a roofer, they're going to fix all the problems on the outside. Actually, it's rare that they fix all the problems. But if they do, and they don't fix the problems on the inside, that's the actual problem, not the symptom. The outside stuff's a symptom of an inside problem, but they don't have the ability to look inside to see what is the actual problem. Then real quick, 1-2 years, you start to have the same problems again because the cause of it is still there. So it's important that we look at the system as a whole. And you have leaks. Got it. There's cracks. There's holes. What's causing those cracks? What's causing those holes? Is it something on the inside of your chimney that's leaking out? That's very, very common in certain situations that's causing these issues. Or is there some structural foundational issue that's causing all this? Because the last thing we want to do as a company is fix something and have it break right afterwards. And guess what? It's not even our fault. It's not your fault. It's something structurally. So one of the things we do when we go out is to look at that stuff. What is the actual problem? What's causing the cracks, the holes, the leaks? What's causing it? Is it just age? Okay, cool. We can fix that. But what is it? Does it need maintenance? Do we need to get on? We have a Healthy Hearth Club that is a maintenance program for homeowners. We have lots and lots of people on it so that we check everything and fix stuff when it's little. Because when we say it's a 10-year warranty, could it last 10 years? Maybe. But normally we go out and we have to touch stuff up at year 2, year 3, year 4. That's part of it. Is chimneys require maintenance. Or maybe there's something wrong that we didn't see, we didn't catch. And that's covered by warranties in some situations, so that we can actually fix the problem. You never have it again, that kind of thing. But you always have a company to call when you have a problem, because that's us. So when it comes to waterproofing, be very, very careful. From the cheap Home Depot waterproofers, the cheaper waterproofers, they're cheap for a reason. They don't work as well. They trap in moisture, and often they're only good for 1 year. And the company you're hiring to do it may give you 30, 60, 90 days warranty. When we give a 10-year warranty on our repair, and we're only going to give you repairs that we can warranty that long, we're going to warranty it for 10 years with proper maintenance, which means we're going to have to touch it up. We understand this. It's not unrealistic for you to have to touch up some stuff over a 10-year period. And if you haven't touched up your fireplace in 20, 30, 40, 50 years, it would be normal for there to be some issues. And if you don't touch them up while they're little, they'll become big issues. And then it's a lot more expensive to fix rather than small maintenance items. So when it comes to water repellent, be picky. Don't just assume everything that you get from every company is exactly the same. It's not. You need a quality product. You need a long-lasting product. You need a product that's going to not look horrible, because I've seen some that have silicone in them that make the whole surface look really, really shiny. That's going to trap in moisture. Plus, when we try to get our product back in, we're going to struggle. We have to take that off, which may take as much work as the whole job before we fix it correctly. So make sure you are getting a quality repair when it comes to leaks. So that's it. Please like it, share it. We want to help as many people as possible. We will see you next time.